In this JavaScript tutorial, we are going to see loops in JavaScript. So let's understand why we need to use the for loop in the JavaScript. So when you are having an array that contains list of values or the list of elements, if you want to access all the values from the particular array, you can use the for loop. So this is the syntax, guys. You need to start with the for keyword and inside the brackets. Firstly, you need to initialize the variable value. Then you need to write the condition, and then you can increment or decrement the value. So this particular for loop will be executed till this condition is true. If this condition is false, simply it comes out of this particular for loop. So here you can write the all the code inside the for loop. Till this condition returns you the true, it will execute all the code whatever you have written inside the for loop. Now coming to the examples. In the example 1, we are going to see very basic example. In the example 2, we will create a new array and we will print all the values from the array by using the for loop. And in the example 3, we are going to iterate the array by using the for of loop. So basically you are seeing the two ways to access the all the values from the particular array. One is by using the for loop and second one is for of loop in the JavaScript. Now I will navigate to the VS Code. So let's create a quickly here java.js file. So simply I will click on this new file and here I'll create a one.js file. Here I'll say for loop underscore 4.1. Then I will say .js. So that's it. I have created the JavaScript file. Now, so what I will do is here, simply I will create a one for loop. So if you look at this particular for loop, so firstly we are using the let. So here we are creating the one variable and we are assigning the value to that particular variable. So this variable name can be anything. And after that, here we are writing the condition. If index value is less than the array. So here I will add as of now some value 10 so that this particular loop will run 10 times. So firstly we are initializing the variable value. Then here we are writing the condition. So we are checking index value is less than the 10 or not. If index value is less than the 10, till that time this particular for loop will be running. And then here we are incrementing the index variable value every time. So let me delete this line now. So simply I will use here console.log and I will print the index value. So that's it. So let me explain you once again. So firstly we are initializing the variable value. Then here we are writing the condition. Then here we are incrementing the index value. So firstly index value will be 0. Then it comes inside this for loop. So it basically checks the condition. Is 0 is less than 10 or not? Yes. Then it will comes inside the for loop and it will prints the index value, that is a 0. And here we have the incremented operator, right? So it will increment the index value. So previously it was 0. Now this time index value will be 1. So here there is a condition. It checks 1 is less than 10. Yes. Then it will come inside this for loop and it will print 1. And it runs till the index value is 10. Whenever index value is reaches to the 10 is less than 10, no, simply it comes out of the this particular for loop. That means it prints from 0 to the 9 because only 10 times this particular for loop will be running. So based on this particular condition. So let's run the program. And here you will be seeing the output. If you see here, so firstly it is printing 0, then 1 and 2 and so on till it is running the index value is, whenever index value is 9, it is running till that. Whenever index value is 10, it is basically checking this particular condition. Then it is coming out of this particular for loop. So that's all about the basic example for the for loop in the JavaScript. Now let's create a simple array here. So here I'll say let, followed by that I'll say variable name as colors. So here I'm adding total four color names. So firstly I'll say white, and then I'll say red, then I'll say blue. You can add a number of values here in this array, so that's not an issue. Then here I'll say green. So right now I'm adding only four elements or four values into the colors array. So that's it, guys. Now we have created array, and let's use the for loop. By using the for loop, we will print all the values from the array. Now here I'll say for. That's it, guys. Now what I will do is here simply once again I will start the let, and index I will assign it as 0. So this condition we have to write it properly. So I want to run this particular for loop till end of the this particular array size, right? So here I will take this array and simply I will paste it here. So as I said, array's index starts with the 0. So that's the reason I'm starting this index value with the 0. Then I'm running till the array's length. That is less than the length we are running it. Then simply we are incrementing the index value. Then here we have to use the arrays, that is array, that is a colors. And inside this simply we have to pass the index. So index value we can get it by using the index variable, right? Whenever index is 0, so it gets this particular colors of index. So let's say index value is 0 and colors of index 0, it gets this particular element. Whenever index value is incrementing, and it will start pointing to the next value in this particular array, and so on. That's how it happens. So this particular for loop, it runs till the last element of the array. So here I will use console.log to print the value of this particular array elements. So that's it, guys. And before this I will here add one console.log. Just I want to separate this particular output. So that's it, guys. Now let me summarize what we have done. We have created a new array, and we are printing all the array elements by using the for loop and by using the index approach. Basically I'm using the array, and for this particular array I'm passing the index value starting from the 0 till the end of the array. That's it, guys. Let's run this program, and if you see the output, so firstly it is printing white, that's a white, and then red, blue, and green. So this is how you can print the all the values or the elements from the array by using the index approach. Now let's see how you can print all the elements from the array by using the for of loop in the JavaScript. So simply you can use the for, just enter for, and here you will get the option as for of. Simply select this particular option, and here you need to pass object here. So we are having the colors is an object, that's the array object. Let's pass it here, and here I'll say variable name as element. Then simply I will use the console.log. Then I will print the element variable value. That's it, guys. So let me add another separator here. So that's it. Now this particular output, the first for loop, it prints 0 to the 9 output, and in the second for loop we are printing all the values from the colors array by using the index approach, and in the third for loop we are printing all the values from the colors array by using the for of loop in the JavaScript. So let's run this program and we'll validate the output. Let me view the output, and if you see the output here, so firstly it is printing all the values, that is 0 to the 9. So this is coming from the first for loop, and we have the second set of values, that is all the colors. So it is basically printing all the color elements by using the index approach. And if you see the third one, so these values are coming from the by using the for of loop in the JavaScript. So this is all I'm having for the for loops in the JavaScript.